Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Studio Hours. I realized I should probably introduce myself a little bit better in these episodes. I'm Hannah. I'm one of the founders at Oak Theory. We are a creative tech studio. We work with brands and companies on a lot of different digital experiences and get a front row seat. And in these episodes, I touch on topics that we're currently going through at the studio with our clients, as well as casual conversations that we're experiencing personally for me as a founder, just different topics across the board in business. Today, I want to talk about untangling your self worth from your results. And the reason it's coming up today is because we're in August 2025, and it's a pretty tough market out here for both businesses and also for obviously in the job market. A lot has shifted in the last year politically, technologically, and the economy. And so there's a lot of unsettled unknowns that are happening. And it's part of the ebb and flow of life and of business and of the economy, but it can feel very, very big for when you're going through it. And I've been having conversations with my friends, a couple of people who've been job searching for months at a time. And I'm realizing, it's just really, it could be very demoralizing and degrading. I've obviously been there myself as well. And in terms of business too, talking to other business owners and in terms of our experience this year, it's been tougher overall. So it hasn't been the easiest year, let's say that. And I think it just brings up a bigger point of what we do when things are tougher, that it's external to us, but it's easy for any of us to tie our worth or our self-value with the results of our work. So I just want to call out we live in a world where there is such a cultural obsession with outcomes. We see the LinkedIn posts, the press releases, the viral success stories on Instagram and TikTok. There's so much visibility of the result and not as much in terms of all the grind, all the failures, all the trial and errors, and the luck and the environment behind some of these successes. And so if you're like anyone like me or anyone else and you're doom scrolling and you're not in the best place, it could feel so demotivating and just it could feel so doom and gloom in terms of, wow, everyone else seem like they have it going on and I don't. And it's simply not true. And I just wanted to call it out because obviously I've struggled with it and I see my friends also struggling with it. And in this tougher market, it's just a reminder that there are things that are outside of our control, and all we can do is really do what we can do within our control. When I go through experiences like this, where it's just tougher in life or in business or personally, I lean on my experience as a Muay Thai fighter in the past. This is in my past life. I was competitive in Muay Thai kickboxing for a little bit in my 20s, and I've learned so much that I take with me and I have referenced back in terms of entrepreneurship and business all the time. And I think you can look at athletes like Kobe. I think of Serena in terms of longevity and adaptation. I think of Michael Jordan, obviously, Muhammad Ali, all these great athletes. Like one thing that I see the pattern when you look at them is how much they are just focused on what they can control and their obsession and love for the process itself. And it applies to our work and life, right? It's same and true in business and in job search. The market shifts, there's new tech, leadership changes, life events all happen, and they're all outside of our control. What can we do, right? We live in this world, we live on Earth where there is so much happening and there's constant changes and ebb and flows. What is in our control and what Muay Thai has really taught me is how it's all about how we prepare, how you show up, how you can creatively problem solve and endure. These are the things that I can actually control and have a say in. And when I was competing and training, and it was such a mind f- it was mentally just so hard at times because it mirrored back to me all of my insecurities, all of my doubts, all of my fears, and I had to really work with my mental health. And I learned through that experience that in training and fighting that I can't think about how my opponent was going to show up, what they were really good at, what their strategy was. What if I don't sleep that well that night? Like I couldn't think about all these things that were outside of my control. I would spiral. All I could do was what was in my control, how I prepared, how I showed up to training, how present I could be during training, fueling my body, things that I could control within my sphere. And if you look at athletes that you love, we know that they're not just skilled. They have the stamina and the self hype talk and the mental strength to keep going even when they are maybe behind or when they've had a really big loss. And we love it as people watching. We love watching this athletes do the self-talk, the pump-ups, to see like that they could come from behind. And it's this human thing where we feel connected to like, watching someone come from behind. It's the best feeling ever. And we just want to root for them because we know that that takes a different level of strength and inner depth of self work. So if you're struggling today, whether you're job searching or business is harder or you're going through something personal in your life, just a reminder to focus on what you can control, to show up, to strategize, try something different, think of it as a creative challenge, seeing the no's as a redirection, and really be proud of the effort. Be proud of the effort. If you are getting up day after day, be proud of the effort that you're putting in and the different methods that you're trying out and not just the results, because the results really, they vary, right? I recently read Annie Duke's book called Thinking in Bets, and it shifted my perspective more on the choices that we make. They're bets. We make bets and we try our best to make the best decision, but the results aren't necessarily good or bad. A lot of them are probabilities. We make bets and we can't control every outcome. So just to close out the episode, worth is in the process. It's not in the result. And especially if you want to play the long game of life and business and your career, it's in the enduring through all the small moments of ups and downs. That's what reflects how of your worth. And you're an athlete of life. Train your stamina, focus on the effort, and let results play out as they will. But they are not a reflection of your worth or your self-value. And it's just a reminder for you and for me too. So that's it for today. Let me know if you have any book recommendations. I love reading sports books because they are such a great analogy and metaphor for me in terms of when I'm going through harder times in life. And if you are currently job searching, and I know it's a really, really hard market out here, kudos to you. Keep going, pivot, re-strategize, and I'll see you in the next one.